It's not over. The full moon didn't pass. It triggered something bigger, and the real shift is happening right now. The portal is wide open, and what happens in the next 48 hours will decide who moves forward and who stays stuck. You might see people stepping out of your life suddenly, conversations ending, doors closing without warning. It's not rejection, it's redirection. This is how the universe clears the space for what's coming next. This is the moment to move, to act, to make decisions that align with where you're headed, because this window won't stay open for long, so stay with me. But first, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and type 999 in the comment. Today marks the countdown to a cosmic window unlike anything we've seen this year. The full moon on August 10th ignites the first spark, unlocking a current of energy that will keep intensifying with every hour. From August 10th to 13th, the skies enter a 4-day surge, a concentrated alignment when the moon's pull and planetary shifts work in unison. Ancient sky watchers tracked these days as a climbing arc, a time when intentions set could ripple out for months. On August 13th, the gateway reaches its peak and then seals shut. The sun brushes against the path of Aloe, while the moon crosses into Scorpio, a combination tied to breakthrough moments in old myth and history. What no one told you is that this exact sequence hasn't happened in over 20 years, and it won't return until the late 2040s. The full moon's portal is still wide open, casting a current of lunar light across both the seen and the unseen. It isn't a passive glow, it's a living frequency, pulling hidden truths toward the surface and rearranging the invisible scaffolding of your path. This is the kind of energy that doesn't merely wash over you, it rewires you from the inside out. The first thing shifting is your energetic blueprint. The moon's alignment with deep water influences is sending a cascade of light codes into your field, recalibrating the way you respond to both opportunity and challenge. It's why you might suddenly gravitate towards certain people while drifting away from others, not out of preference, but because your vibration is no longer matching theirs. The second is a magnetic amplification of purpose. Under this portal, your light body is undergoing what mystics once called an ascension pulse, an upgrade that strengthens your inner guidance and pulls your focus toward the path that was always meant for you. Signs, synchronicities, and flashes of knowing may feel more concentrated now, as though the universe has narrowed its spotlight onto a single point in your timeline. The third is the quiet but undeniable clearing of old energy anchors. The moon's radiance is loosening the gravitational hold of outdated cycles, freeing you to step through without the weight of yesterday's agreements. It's a rare chance to enter the next chapter without dragging old narratives into it. What no one told you is that this kind of alignment isn't just about release, it's about insertion. The portal is both an exit and an entry, closing behind you the life you've outgrown while sealing in the codes for the one that's waiting. And once it closes, this precise blend of cosmic influences will not return in the same way again. Right now, the full moon is shifting the pace of reality in ways you can't measure with a calendar. 3 minutes can stretch so wide it feels like 30. Then an entire afternoon can vanish without warning. You glance at the clock at 11:07, only to look again and see 2:46. Some moments feel doubled, as though you're moving through today and a memory of today at the same time. This isn't confusion, it's alignment with a rhythm that moves beyond the old clockwork of cause and effect. Between now and August 13th, the atmosphere around you carries a density that isn't heavy but charged. Every conversation sharper, every decision loaded with momentum. Your mind may wander mid-thought, not because you're distracted, but because your awareness is scanning multiple timelines at once. The ordinary pace of life no longer applies. It's as if a part of you already knows what's ahead and is pulling you toward it faster than usual. You might notice your energy coming in unpredictable waves. 1 hour, you're moving through tasks with absolute clarity. The next, you want nothing more than stillness. Sounds may seem sharper, lights more intense, emotions more immediate. Even the smallest change in your surroundings can land with a deeper weight. These shifts aren't random, they're the markers of your system adjusting to a broader frequency band, one that stretches perception and blurs the borders between past, present, and what's about to arrive. As you move through these days, you're not simply enduring strange moments, you're syncing with a pattern designed to move you out of the predictable and into the extraordinary. The acceleration isn't here to rush you, it's here to prepare you. And what no one told you is that once you've crossed this threshold, there's no returning to the pace you knew before. August 10th arrives under a sky that carries an unmistakable weight, a quiet but undeniable call to turn inward. This full moon doesn't simply light the night, it acts like a mirror, pulling into view the parts of yourself you've managed to sideline, not to punish, but to show you where you've been holding back your own growth. It's the kind of clarity that can't be ignored, because it comes wrapped in emotion you didn't expect to revisit. Old grudges you thought you'd moved past might suddenly matter again. Moments from years ago can pop into your mind for no obvious reason, except that they still have something to teach you. Psychologist Robert Johnson once said that the parts of ourselves we deny are often the ones that hold the most power over us. This is the territory the full moon on August 10th invites you to explore, the inner rooms you rarely enter yet carry with you everywhere. Karmic debts aren't always dramatic. Sometimes they're the subtle cycles you keep repeating without realizing why. Maybe it's a tendency to push people away when they get too close, or to chase approval from those who'll never give it. These aren't flaws, they're signals from what some call the shadow self. When you're willing to meet that shadow without flinching, the energy bound up in it can finally shift. The days around this lunar peak are less about fixing yourself and more about seeing yourself completely, without the filters you've been using to make the reflection easier to look at. That honesty can sting, but it also makes space for a deeper kind of freedom. The freedom of knowing you're no longer avoiding the truth of your own story. August 10th won't hand you instant closure, but it can open a door to transformation you've been circling for years. The key is choosing to step inside, even if the air feels unfamiliar. What no one told you is that the parts you're most reluctant to face often hold the exact strength you've been searching for all along. A shift is already pulsing through the air, and with each passing hour, the current grows stronger. This isn't chaos, it's a recalibration. The full moon is acting like a spotlight, revealing the version of you that's been waiting to step forward. It's the kind of change that doesn't whisper. It rushes in and asks, are you ready to live as the person you once only imagined? Between August 10th and August 13th, that momentum reaches its peak. Layers you didn't even know you were carrying begin to fall away, almost like a weight you stopped questioning long ago. Old identities fade, not with force, but with the clarity that they're no longer yours to carry. This is the moment where your energy begins tuning to a higher rhythm, a frequency that calls in fresh opportunities and connections you might not have considered possible before. The full moon's illumination is not only external, it turns inward, lighting up the core of who you are. Think of it like a master switch being turned back on. Dormant abilities awaken, creative sparks return, and your intuition sharpens to a point where you can sense the right moves with unshakable certainty. This isn't about becoming someone new, it's about remembering the power that was always yours. Your energy field begins reorganizing itself, aligning each part of you with the path ahead. It's almost like every cell carries a new instruction to grow, to expand, to rise. Some will notice new bursts of confidence, while others may experience an unexplainable magnetism, drawing in people, places, and chances that feel unmistakably aligned with their next chapter. By the time August 13th arrives, you're standing at a doorway, not to somewhere else, but to the highest version of yourself. What no one told you is that this kind of transformation isn't a one-time event, it's the spark that ignites a chain reaction. The full moon doesn't just end the cycle, it activates the one you've been waiting for, and the real question is, are you ready to walk through it fully awake? There's a hum moving through the air, as if the earth itself is exhaling after holding something in for far too long. On August 10th, this wave of change strengthens, carried by the momentum of the August full moon and its open portal. It's more than individual transformation, it's the tuning of a shared frequency, where countless hearts begin to move in rhythm, without ever meeting. When the moon shifts into its peak light, it's not just a visual spectacle. It's the moment when subtle, invisible threads stretch out between people in every corner of the planet. Every choice made in alignment, every step taken with clarity, sends a signal that strengthens the network of collective growth. It's not magic in the sense of illusion. It's the way resonance works, how intention can ripple outward far beyond what the eyes can track. Think of it as countless sparks igniting across the map, each one lighting the space around it until those small points of light form constellations. This is what the August full moon makes possible. A portal where your personal breakthroughs become part of a larger pattern that others can rise into. Even the smallest inner victory contributes to the overall shift. Some will notice their energy syncing with others without trying. Projects start moving again. Old misunderstandings dissolve with surprising ease. The same pulse that pushes you forward is working on strangers halfway across the globe. It's a reminder that while the work begins within, it was never meant to stay contained there. During this period, a rise in clarity is paired with a stronger pull toward truth. You might see more conversations in the collective space, turning toward authenticity, accountability, and vision. This isn't random. It's the direct influence of a shared energetic field becoming brighter and sharper under the moon's influence. The August portal acts as a kind of amplifier, making what is aligned easier to access and what is out of alignment harder to sustain. It's also a moment for recognizing that not everyone will move at the same pace, and that's part of the beauty of it. The collective awakening isn't about perfect synchronicity, it's about waves. One person reaching a new level and inspiring others to follow when their moment arrives. The August full moon doesn't demand that everyone transform at once. It simply raises the baseline so that transformation becomes easier and more natural for anyone ready to step forward. Your part in this is more significant than you might think. Every time you choose clarity over confusion, compassion over resentment, purpose over distraction, you are contributing to a frequency shift that others can sense and respond to. This is the essence of the collective awakening. One decision multiplied by millions until it becomes impossible to ignore. The 10th marks a peak, but not a finish line. What begins here extends into waves that will keep moving, touching spaces and people far beyond your direct reach. The more you align with what the full moon portal brings, the stronger your imprint becomes on the shared field. And in a time when the world feels divided in so many ways, that shared field is where the real healing begins. The momentum building in this moment isn't limited to your own transformation, it's rippling outward in ways we rarely witness in a single lifetime. The August full moon has opened a current that moves through communities, nations, and even the quiet corners of the world where no one speaks of such things, and yet the shift is undeniable. A single thought of hope now carries further. A single choice to stand in integrity now influences more than just your immediate circle. This is the hidden mathematics of collective energy. When one heart realigns, 1,000 others begin to stir. We've stepped into a point in time where intention itself has weight. Words, actions, even unspoken commitments are amplified under this moon shift. On August 10th, the portal doesn't simply open for individual renewal, it's a call for synchronized transformation. Imagine billions of inner lights, all at varying stages of awakening, suddenly finding a shared frequency. It's not about everyone agreeing or thinking alike, it's about humanity discovering a deeper rhythm beneath the noise. This is the kind of alignment that rewrites what we believe is possible. In such an atmosphere, the choices you make matter in ways you may not fully see yet. A kindness extended, an old grudge released, a vision pursued despite doubt. These are the quiet revolutions shaping our shared reality. When the energy shift moves through so many at once, reality itself becomes more responsive. The walls that seem to separate your journey from the world out there dissolve. You begin to realize that your growth is not a private event, it's a contribution to a collective leap. The August full moon doesn't simply illuminate what is, it activates what could be. Light codes embedded within this lunar phase are streaming in at a pace that invites rapid evolution. Chakras that once felt sluggish begin to hum with vitality. Creative inspiration flows with less resistance. You may even notice more synchronicities in your day, not as random occurrences, but as markers of alignment between you and the pulse of the planet. This is the living proof that your inner work is syncing with the greater whole. When millions of people begin to embody their higher potential at the same time, the global frequency shifts faster than it ever could through external change alone. Policies, cultural narratives, and even long-standing conflicts start to bend toward resolution. Not because the old systems suddenly decide to change, but because the energy sustaining them can no longer hold. This is the untold story of the August 10th portal. It's not just about your own activation, it's about tipping the scales for everyone. In these days, you may witness unexpected collaborations, rapid progress in causes that once felt stuck, and an unusual clarity in the collective conversation about what truly matters. These are signs that the lunar influence has reached the deeper layers of the human field, and while the world may still have its challenges, the undercurrent is shifting toward expansion, unity, and breakthrough. The most powerful contribution you can make during this energy shift is to embody the frequency you wish to see in the world. Speak the words you wish others would speak. Live the values you wish leaders would lead with. Practice the courage you wish entire nations would adopt. Under this August full moon, the smallest authentic action holds the potential to spark movement. The moon's portal acts like a transmitter, carrying your personal alignment across distances you cannot measure. There's a reason ancient cultures tracked lunar cycles so closely. They understood that certain moons were not just markers of time, but catalysts for acceleration. This August full moon is one such catalyst. When aligned individuals focus their energy toward growth, compassion, and vision, the world does not simply change, it evolves. And the beauty of this moment is that you are not standing outside of that evolution. You are inside it, shaping it, transmitting it with every choice you make. So, as this moon shift continues to move through the collective field, hold your ground in clarity and purpose. Whether you're aware of it or not, you're part of a wave sweeping across the globe. A wave that began as whispers in the soul and now rises like a tide. No one can turn back. This is more than a season of personal breakthroughs. It's the dawn of a collective chapter, written not by leaders or institutions, but by the unified rhythm of awakened heart. And when history looks back on this period, it may not have the language to explain the sudden leap in human consciousness, but you will know. You will remember the August full moon, the way the air itself seemed charged with possibility, and the quiet knowing that your own inner transformation was part of something far greater than you'd ever been told. Some moments in life carry an unexplainable weight, and this August full moon is one of them. Not because it follows tradition, but because the energy itself asks for alignment in ways that change how you move forward. This isn't about superstition, it's about engaging with a rhythm that's older than history and just as alive today. One of the simplest yet most powerful things you can do is create a space that signals to your mind and energy that something different is happening. This could be lighting a single candle, arranging a few natural objects that mean something to you, or simply standing in an open area where you can see the sky. The intention here isn't decoration, it's recognition. You're meeting the shift halfway. Water has always been a carrier of memory, and using it during this phase can amplify your alignment. A glass set beneath the night sky, even for a short while, takes on a quality that's both grounding and clarifying. Drinking it slowly without distraction can help anchor the changes in a way that feels natural. Some choose to pour it over their hands or face, letting it mark a small transition from old energy into new momentum. Writing is another underestimated bridge between the internal and external. A page where you list what you're ready to release and what you're ready to welcome becomes a declaration. This is not about perfect words, it's about honesty. Once you've written it, reading it aloud under the moon's light turns it into a living statement, one the energy around you can respond to. Movement is equally important, but it doesn't have to be ritualistic in the formal sense. Walking in nature, dancing alone in your space, or simply stretching while being mindful of the sky above, all of these become acts of integration. The shift in the air becomes part of your physical rhythm, and your body starts holding that frequency without resistance. Crystals, herbs, and scents can also serve as anchors, but they're tools, not requirements. If you use them, let them be reminders of your focus rather than objects of dependence. Even a small item you carry in your pocket during this period can keep your attention aligned with the energy you're working with. Most importantly, give yourself permission to slow down during the hours surrounding this lunar phase. Not stopping completely, but moving with a level of presence that allows you to register the subtle changes happening both within and around you. It's in that slowed state that you integrate the most, where awareness becomes part of your normal way of moving through the world. Carrying out these activations is less about performing them perfectly and more about stepping into a state where your own energy is amplified. Even the smallest intentional act can open new layers of awareness. Pouring water into a glass with focused attention, lighting a single candle, or speaking one line of affirmation into the air becomes a way of aligning with a larger current. These actions work because they place you in the present, tuning your personal frequency to the flow already in motion. Many underestimate the power of repeating a ritual over consecutive cycles. When you return to an action at each moon shift, it builds an energetic imprint, like drawing the same path over soft sand until it becomes a clear trail. The energy responds to consistency, and the more you reinforce that connection, the stronger your influence becomes over the experiences you magnetize into your life. Objects you keep nearby during this period can serve as anchors for the intentions you set. A small stone from a place that inspires you, a pendant passed down through your family, or even a handwritten note of your vision can become an amplifier. The key is not in the object itself, but in the meaning you give it and the charge you place into it. This is how ordinary items transform into personal talismans that carry your frequency. Consider also the power of sound. A single word spoken with deliberate intention can shift the energy around you. Soft humming, chanting a tone, or even reciting affirmations in rhythm with your heartbeat can clear stagnant energy and invite alignment. This is not about the volume or complexity of the sound, but about how deeply you let it resonate through you. Energy integration does not end with the completion of a ritual. It continues in the way you carry yourself afterward. Many people rush back into their routine, missing the opportunity to seal the energetic work they've done. Instead, allow space for stillness, even if it's only a few minutes, to let the shift settle. That pause is where the activation solidifies. Engaging with natural elements can heighten the effect. A short walk under the night sky, standing in a light breeze, or touching the earth with your bare hands connects your energy field to the wider system of life. These moments are not about grandeur, they are about authentic connection to forces that move beyond human schedules and structure. During this moon cycle, speaking your intentions aloud into an open space holds a unique charge. The combination of your voice, your breath, and the air around you weaves your vision into the energetic field. It's a direct way of broadcasting your alignment without interference from doubt or distraction. Journaling during this time can also act as an energetic extension of your ritual work. Writing is not only a record of your insights, but a method of channeling raw ideas into tangible form. You don't need to craft perfect words. What matters is the transmission of your inner current onto the page, where it can continue to grow. Energy work can sometimes draw hidden emotions to the surface. Rather than resisting them, acknowledge them as signals of relief. This moon shift is not about following a fixed set of steps, but about engaging with a living process. The energy is fluid, responsive to your choices, and willing to meet you wherever you are. Some rituals may feel potent this cycle, and less so in the next, and that's natural. The most enduring integration happens when your activation work becomes part of your everyday rhythm, rather than something you visit only in peak moments. When lighting a candle before speaking to someone important, or pausing to look at the sky before making a decision becomes instinctive, you are living in continual alignment. The moon shift simply becomes a magnifier for the energy you already carry. And perhaps the most important truth is this: No one outside you holds the exact combination of frequencies you bring. Your way of connecting, your way of activating, your way of integrating, these are entirely your own. Rituals are not rules, they are invitations to remember your own power and place it deliberately into the flow of the world. August 10th's full moon portal is here, as a reminder that you are far more powerful than you've been led to believe. Energy is moving fast, and what you align with now will ripple forward in ways you can't yet imagine. Let this be your signal to rise into that higher version of yourself and claim it without hesitation. Type in the comments, "I am fully here," so the universe knows you are ready to receive. Share this with someone who could use this shift. Your ripple might be the light they've been waiting for. May this full moon wrap you in clarity, strength, and divine support. No matter where you are in your journey, know that you are seen, you are guided, and you are already becoming who you were meant to.